All right, so this is a mini lesson on how to multiply mixed numbers. And so I'm just going to go through here and do some examples for you to go through the process. It can be kind of tricky, but if you can remember the steps, then you'll be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So let's start with this problem right here. If I have 2 1/3 times 1 3/4. What does this equal? Well, my first step is to convert these into improper fractions. Yes, I said improper fractions. Typically we don't like improper fractions, but in this case we do because it's easier to multiply with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, what is 3 times 2? That is 6. And then I'm going to add that numerator. So I'm going to 6 plus 1 is going to be 7, and I keep the denominator. So I've got 7/3. Same thing here. What is 4 times 1, which is 4, plus 3, which is 7. So I've got 7/3 times 7/4. Then I can multiply straight across, and I will get 7 times 7 is 49, and 3 times 4 is 12. So now I have to change it back into a mixed number. So how many times can 12 go into 49 equally without going over 49? What times 12 will get me to 49, or at or close to 49? And I know, because I know my multiplication facts, 12 times 4 is 48. So I'm going to say, okay, 12 will go into 49 4 times with 1 left over, and I'm going to keep the denominator of 12. So 2 1/3 times 1 3/4 is 4 1/12. Okay, so I know it's a lot of steps there, but that's okay. If we practice, we'll get better at it. All right, let's do another one. If I have 1 1/2 times 3 1/3. I'm going to do the same thing. The first step, make them improper. Okay. The second step, I'm going to then multiply both the denominator and numerator. And then the third step, I'm going to change back to a mixed number. Okay, so following these steps. So what is 2 times 1? It's 2. Then I add that numerator, which makes it 3. I keep the denominator of 2, so 3 over 2, times, what is 3 times 3? That is 9, plus 1 is 10 over 3. Then I multiply straight across. 3 times 10 is 30. 2 times 3 is 6. How many times can 6 go into 30? Or what times 6 can get me at or close to 30? Well, 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 18. No, excuse me, 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 5 is 30. Whoa, wait a second. So 6 can go into 30 an equal amount of times of 5. Well, Mr. Walker, what about that 0? Do you not just put 0 over 6? You do not, because you don't have any, if I was looking at a model, you wouldn't have any shaded out of those 6. You would have an equal whole number of 5. So 5 is my answer. Okay, I'm going to do one more practice problem here. Say I have, and feel free to go back to that slide and pause it if you're working on some extra practice pages that I'll tell you about here in a minute. But say I have 5 1/2 times 2 1/4. Well, I'm going to change it to an improper fraction. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11, and I keep that denominator of my fraction, which is 2, times 2 times 4 is 8, plus this 1 is 9, and I keep the denominator of 4. Then I multiply straight across. 11 times 9 is 99, over 2 times 4 is 8. Whoops, my pen messed up. So now I'm looking at how many times can 8 go into 99, or get me close to what times 8 gets me at or close to 99. So I know immediately that 8 times 11 is 88. I know 8 times 12 is 96. So I know it's going to go in there 12 times, and I get 96. How many more do I have to go to get to 99? Well, I know that's 3, and I end up with 12 3/8. All right. If you want some extra practice on this, you can look at 8-7, multiplying mixed numbers, in your Skinny workbook at home, and then you can bring in any questions that you may have. But if you refer back to these steps, you will be just fine. I think the most common area of confusion is changing to an improper fraction and then changing back into a mixed number. So if you just practice that process, you will be successful. So I hope this helps.